Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel's Stitch Along series. This video is part of a kit review I did of this fabulous beadwork design of a blue betta fish. If you have this kit, you can join me as I stitch and guide you through the whole process from start to finish. I bought the kit from the shop Julia Shop Crafts on Etsy, link below. For the materials included in the kit, click on the link above to watch the kit review itself. So let's begin. First off, I'm going to spray some artist varnish on the canvas. Apparently this makes the colors of the fish pattern more vibrant. And then you need to mount your canvas either horizontally or vertically on a hands-free stand. This particular one I got on Etsy, and I have the installation guide video for you on my channel. The kit came with two beading needles, one finer one for the small beads, which as you can see didn't really work very well. They're kind of twisted, so I advise you to get a bunch of sewing needles number 11 or any beading needles that would fit small beads. And then you need to cut out the color key that's on the top of the canvas that you can use to refer to when you start working. You'll need a small little bowl like this one, and you can pour in the first set of bead colors that you'll be working with. So here I'm going to work with the light blue, the purple, and the dark blue. So I'm going to start working with those beads. So I usually separate out the beads that I'm working with and I keep them handy. So number 8 for the brown, number 7 dark blue, number 9, and finally number 6. So I just keep that handy and ready for me. Now to begin the beadwork process, you bring out the needle at one end of the bead pattern on the canvas and then insert the needle on the other end, and you work backwards essentially. And so again, bring out the needle at one end and insert it at the opposite end. So here I'm working with the light blue larger beads, and because I didn't have the brown ready, I'm skipping this part and just skipping to the blue beads, but I would advise you not to do that. Just have the beads ready and continue beading by just changing the color of the bead. Now I've come to the end of the thread, so I'm just going to end it off with a knot at the back of the canvas and then switch to a single strand of sewing thread. You may have noticed that I was using 2 strands earlier. That's only because I was wanting to check whether the thread was strong enough for this particular beadwork. So 1 strand's good. And now I'm going to switch to a number 15 light blue bead, and these are much smaller than the initial beads I started off with, so I would advise you to get a bunch of beading needles that sort of fit the smallest beads in the pattern, so that way you don't need to keep swapping needles in and out, and you will be breaking a few as you work this particular pattern on canvas. I've finished stitching the bottom part of the fish here, and I'm going to continue the rest of the body by stitching the outline of the fish first. So I'm going to use bead number 5 and 4. So 5 is the gold impression on the canvas, and 4 is sort of this orangish impression on the canvas. I'm going to use this really thick needle that I have for my other beading projects to remove the wrongly sewn beads here on the fin. To do that, I just need to insert the needle into the bead, and these are glass beads and they should pop easily, and it really comes with practice. So try not to pierce the canvas if you are in this situation. In some cases, for example here, I've pushed the thread and you can see that there's a little piece of thread that's come out. So here in this case I can remove the beads carefully. So I'm going to remove all of the beads, all the bead colors that I've wrongly sewn in. So in this case you don't need to pop the beads here. I can still pop it and up there as well. And once that's done, I'm just going to sew in the correct color beads in its place. So just push that bead into place, and I'm going to do the same for the other beads as well. Now here you can see there's a little bit of thread that had broken off. So here I'm going to first stitch that thread into place with 2 stab stitches, and then I'm going to sew the bead on top of it, and that should keep it in place and shouldn't affect the other beads as well. Here I've finished the body of the fish. It took me a week to finish this part of the pattern, and now I'm going to move on to the left back fins here. So that's a lot of work still to go to complete this gorgeous fish. I finally completed the beadwork and I've placed it temporarily on a 10 by 14 inch frame by taping it with Scotch tape here on the sides. And that's just for me to approximate where I should staple the canvas on the frame. Now that I know where I want to place the image on the frame, I'm going to remove the Scotch tape here that I had put temporarily, and I'm going to start stapling it here at the center and on the sides. I'm going to turn it around, and now I'm going to use a canvas stretcher to tighten the canvas over the frame and then use a staple gun. You can get staple guns in the craft store. I'm using a 13mm staple gun. I'm going to use the stretcher as well on the sides to ensure that it's nicely pulled taut along the frame. That's come out pretty modern and neat, don't you think? And the back looks pretty good. You can leave it free like this, or you could stick or glue a piece of black or white felt along the frame here. Now to finish off, I'm going to give it one more coat of varnish to give it a nice glossy look when I hang it up on the wall. And there it is, my first beadwork kit review and stitch along video. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to click on the subscribe, like, and notification buttons. See you again next time. Bye bye.